All right, 6:17 right now. It's a trend overtaking the country, one city at a time. A new app now that brings the taxi service to the palm of your hands.
That's right. I don't know if that was supposed to be animation or something. It just said the Mac World, or Mac, what's it called?
The Mac Corner is our sponsor.
The Mac Corner, our sponsor for App of the Week.
That's right. What's happening? Yeah.
Travis Ruiz is here. Talk about Uber and Lyft. It's this this new device or this new kind of service that gets you around town, right, Trav?
That's right. Extremely popular now. So you've probably heard of these two things. They're spelled a little bit. You know, Uber is U-B-E-R,
right,
and Lyft is L-Y-F-T. So a little bit different right there. So taxis are so 10 years ago. Basically, is kind of the philosophy of this. So essentially, it's an app on your phone. It brings drivers to the palm of your hand. So out and about at night, maybe had a drink or two, you need a ride home. So this is perfect. So these two different services, they're basically networks of people, networks of vehicles that come to you.
Interesting.
They're not taxis, but they're different. So let's go ahead and pull up Lyft. So let me show you exactly what Lyft is.
Okay.
So this is the first one, Lyft. So this is something that you and I could essentially become drivers of. So this is kind of like your friend. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
granted, if you do not have a crazy background or a
bad driving record.
Exactly.
All right,
so,
I'm out then.
I wouldn't call Justin. No offense. Yeah.
Right. So here is kind of this is obviously a map. So it's saying right now that all drivers are busy. You can see that right above our banner.
Busy this morning.
Yeah, which obviously it's 6:18 a.m. So I wouldn't really expect there to be too many drivers out and about. And of course, this is such a new thing. It hasn't really truly taken off like crazy here. But so what it does is you can request one. I'm not going to request it because I don't want a car to come.
We don't need a ride yet.
Yeah.
No.
So this essentially is just an everyday person. They'll be nice to you. You rate them in the end. It's kind of cool.
Do you pay these people?
Yeah, absolutely. But both of these services, Uber and Lyft, they're cashless services. So whenever I signed up for these apps, I actually already entered my credit card information. So it's in there.
And when you get, and they have Uber and Lyft out in Baltimore, and Jess, my fiance, and I have used Uber before, and it's a black car that'll come right to you, and you don't pay anything.
That's
pretty
nice.
And it's right there, right?
Yeah. Right, and supposedly it's cheaper than an actual taxi cab. So that's kind of it. So I mentioned to you guys that we could become drivers. So essentially, this is how you kind of sign up. You know, you put your car you're in, you put how many doors it has, the make, model, blah blah blah. But you do have to agree to a background check, as it said. You have to watch all these videos. You have to get a whole packet.
So are you essentially on call, and then your phone will go
No, you
off?
choose the hours in which you want to be on there.
Very flexible.
Yeah, so that's kind of the more, ground level one. So this is Uber right here. Yeah, so essentially you request a car, and you can request a car, and they actually come to you, and they're like fancier cars. They're not just like your everyday, Mazda car that we drive or whatever. So you can choose, an Uber taxi, an Uber X.
You want to get picked up in a Mazda?
Well,
Travis?
I like Mazdas, but I don't know. That's just I feel like that was an average vehicle,
right?
An average, an Uber Black or an Uber SUV. So this is what Justin was just talking about. They picked him up in like a nicer car.
Yeah.
They might give you
like town cars or a Chrysler 300, something like that.
They might give you a bottle of water or whatever. So this is kind of cool because you could actually be able to see, hey, my driver is 3 minutes away. You kind of get to see on the map where they are. So then you rate them, obviously, and like I said, no cash required with that. So there's kind
of how it looks. Put the tip on there and everything. It's really great.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So and of course, when you download this, you actually get a free ride if you use the code App Store on this.
Oh, interesting.
There's your
free ride.
Yeah, your free ride. So these apps are really cool. And of course, there's a lot of concern about the safety of these. And Colorado is actually the first state to take the initiative to actually pass a bill that actually supports both of these. Hickenlooper is expected to sign it. So essentially what it does is it makes these programs, Lyft, Uber, these type of things, it makes them legal.
Okay.
So in some states like New Mexico last week, they're kind of ordering all of this to stop. It's not legal.
Well, you also wonder, though, for the driver's protection, who you're picking up.
Absolutely. Yeah. And even the other way around, who's my driver?
Right.
But like I said, these are using background checks, and that's kind of what the law makes happen for sure. And there's also the insurance issue. Uber and Lyft both require, both have a $1 million insurance coverage, but also the drivers need to have specific coverage too. So that's an important part that this legislation comes apart. So these are popular apps, cheaper than taxis. It's all kind of like sort of crowdsourcing effort at getting a taxi. So it's kind of cool.
All right.
Pretty neat.
Thanks very much.
Absolutely.
Trav. Appreciate it.
6:22.